Hey, what's going on, brothers and sisters out on YouTube? All right. First of all, I want to say this is that the last video I did about the Asians, to some of the good Asians out there, you know, don't take this offense, but the Asians that I'm talking about, you already know the deal, and that's the way I'm going to keep going on with this. And it kind of surprised me is that because the video I did about the Asians, it kind of like was like a follow-up on the Misery Loves Company, the part 1, not the part 2, but the part 1. And some of the people that, you know, that subscribe to me, that I subscribe to, is that when I did that video, like the first Misery Loves Company as well as the Asians, I didn't get that much feedback. I didn't get that much feedback, so it was something to that. I must have said too much, but hey, I don't give a damn. That's like they say, if you see something, call it out. Hey, I saw it, I call it out. Because the thing is that I do watch news, but I don't watch too much news. I do read the paper, I don't read too much papers. You ain't got to read the paper, you ain't got to watch the news or nothing like that, excuse me, to see what's going on. All you gotta do is look outside, go out for a minute, walk down the sidewalk, or see people like walking their dogs or whatever, and you will see what's going on. And the reason why I brought this attention out to the Asians, because I done saw it already. I done seen it. You go in their places, they look at you funny, don't want to say nothing to you. They speak their little language and shit, just like the Mexicans. They speak their little language, even though most of us can't understand it. So it's like, and likewise, when they say things like that in their own language, and they like laugh and giggle and look at you like that, much chance is possible they talking about you. And I just wanted to like bring it out, because to me it's like worse. It's some good Asians. And you know what the good Asians are? The good Asians like back in the 60s. Those were the good Asians. Just like the Mexicans. Well, I say the Mexicans like 60s, 70s, early 80s, Latinos. See, a lot of people say bad thing about Puerto Ricans, but I'm going to tell you one thing about Puerto Ricans. Back east in New York, even though, because everybody got their own bad things, but Puerto Ricans and blacks back east, they do have a tight unity. They do got a tight unity what's going on. So I'm not going to sugarcoat that. So I just want to say to everybody, you know, hey, look, what I say, I mean that. I mean it. And I mean everything of it. If I offend somebody, I'm sorry. You know, if it's not pertaining to you, then it's not pertaining to you. But if it's pertaining to you, hey, I don't give a shit. I'm going to say it. That's just the way it goes. And I don't like to talk about the same thing over and over again. You know, I just don't. And I want to give my condolences out to the family of the old Marines brother has been gunned down by the police. See, this is another crisis that we're going through right now. We're going through crisis of the police, the one that said they're supposed to protect and serve and supposed to help out, but it's not like that. It's not like some fucking cop gonna come and like pull your cat down the tree. If anything, cops come in the neighborhoods killing down people of color, especially of us. They are. This is not nothing new to us, because it's been going on for a long time that police has been gunning down African Americans. I mean, you know, it's sort of thing is now that Zimmerman, you know, had a little thing going on with the law enforcement. These law enforcement, they killed this old brother, that he was a Marine, that should have been respected in his home. But he was disrespected in his home. And he fought for this country. I take my hat off to the men's and women's, especially brothers and sisters, that fought for this country because they didn't have to do it. They didn't have to do it. They could have been like Muhammad Ali and told the American government, screw you, I'm not fighting for your country. But it had to be something for these brothers and sisters to fight for this country. And I take my hat off to you. Much respect to you. Peace, you know what I mean? Peace out to you, brothers and sisters. But that's not the topic I want to say. The topic I want to say is that this brother was killed down because he fell asleep. And, you know, it must have triggered the device or whatever. And these police came and killed this brother in his own home, which that was wrong and uncalled for. Chicago, this sister was gunned down by a police officer. In New York, this brother was gunned down by a police officer. Portland, Oregon, a brother and a sister was gunned down by a police officer. So this is like the new killing machines out here right now towards us is these police officers. And I think it's like a sport to them. Because I had emailed somebody and I told them that, police is, which they are nowadays, they're using this target practice. And this brother, I never heard back from him since my last past videos. But, hey, life goes on. Because no response and not response. I'm going to call it how it is. And I'm going to say something about it. That's just the way I am. I'm not going to let nobody punk me out like that. I'm going to say it. And if I offend somebody, like I said, if I offended you, hey, I don't know what to say, but what goes on out there and I see what's wrong, I'm going to call the shit out. And that goes for you. That goes for our people of color, especially these racist people out here. Because they know what they doing. They know what they doing. But they just can't get it off the ground. But I just want to thank everybody that, was with me and did respond off my last videos that I made. Good looking out. And I will say this to the woman and the bartender in Chicago. Woman, you wrong for that. First of all, you don't look good with those fake ass titties, with that dyed blonde head. And you know damn well that you ain't did nothing to no sister, because that sister would have drugged your ass all over the sidewalk. And that goes for your buddies too. But anyway, I just want to let that go, and I'll talk to y'all later, alright? Kev Leo 1, I'm out.